There's no way that you make it, and maybe you can fake it, but you're never gonna make it. Aren't you just gonna take that? Make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Aren't you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Yeah. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just faking.
Hello and welcome to the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, Whiskey Madness 2024, The Road to the Final Pour. A 5-week-long blind tasting tournament featuring 18 whiskeys from around the world. I'm Scott, and joining me as always is Ed.
Hey, everybody.
Plus Sherpa Gabe, King of the Pineys.
Sitting here wearing the stripes.
All right.
Our venue remains the mind-boggling Whiskey Tangent Arena in charming downtown Martha, New Jersey, and the crowd here is simply stupefied with anticipation, because if you listened to our pregame wildcard show last week, you know that we've once again organized our brackets by proof, and today in round one, we'll be squaring off the 4 80 to 89 proof expressions and the 4 110 plus proof expressions. And so Ed's here to start us off by listing the 8 whiskeys that will be competing today to make their Whiskey Madness wishes come true.
Thanks, Scott. And as you know, there's 16 whiskeys left because Gabe handled a couple pigtail brackets on the intro episode.
That's right.
So now we have 2 brackets going today. As a nice warm-up, I think, the 80 to 89 proof bracket.
Yep.
And then we're going to finish off with the 110 to 119 proof bracket.
Climbing the ladder.
So first, the 80 to 89 proof bracket, starting from the bottom. The 4th seed will be a Total Wine Spirit Select exclusive called Kings Creek Black Label Tennessee Whiskey. The 3rd seat will be McAfee's Benchmark Top Floor Bourbon. Kinsey Cabernet Cask Finish Whiskey from the New Liberty Distillery in Philadelphia will be the 2nd seed. And the top seed of the 80 to 89 proof bracket, Basil Hayden Toast Bourbon. And we thought that should be the top seed because it is Basil Hayden, and the committee agreed with us.
We are the committee. We agreed with ourselves.
I like people to think that we have all the people like
I know,
the Ascot Awards have. Like there's people all over the country that are getting samples in the mail to make these decisions.
I always like to diffuse the...
I know, you always take the fun out of it. Fun sucker. Okay, so... The 4th seed of the 110 to 119 bracket is a Barrell Select from Benash Liquors, and it's a Sagamore Spirit Rye from Baltimore, Maryland. The 3rd seed, the Barrell Amburana Bourbon, which beat out the Seagrass Rye from Barrell to get into the tourney, will be the 3rd seed. Maker's Mark Small Batch Select Bourbon, another Barrell Select from Benash, which was a bourbon that was put forward to raise money for cancer research involving a good friend of mine, Jason, and his wife who was battling cancer. And we wanted to just pay tribute to this whiskey and to her memory by including it in the tournament. And it's also Maker's Mark, which is a colossal brand, so it's going to be the 2nd seed. And then sitting on top, the infamous Old Carter Rye, Batch 11, and also holds the rank as the most expensive bottle that I've ever bought for the podcast.
That's right. So before we taste the first round, I'll just quickly go over the rules. I'm not going to do this every time. This will be the only time.
So listen up.
We have 4 glasses, 2 marked A and 2 marked B. Gabe pours one of the whiskeys in each A glass and the other in each B glass, then hands an A and B pair to both Ed and me for tasting. Ed and I will indicate our final choices on the official Whiskey Madness 2024 scoring cards and hand them to Gabe, and he will read the results. If Ed and I have agreed, Gabe reveals which whiskey we picked and declares that whiskey the winner. If Ed and I disagree, we'll go into overtime. Ed will pour for Gabe, who will pick A and B to break the tie, after which Ed will reveal the winner. And those are the rules, and we're going right into it, but we're going to give a little bit of extra information that we didn't give on our pregame show for the matchup. McAfee's Benchmark Top Floor Bourbon, the 3rd seed. The category is a Kentucky Straight Bourbon. The distiller, bottler, owner is Buffalo Trace. The mash bill is their mash bill number 1, widely believed to have about 10% rye. The proof is 86. There's no age statement. The price is $20.
I think I got it for less.
Yeah. The description, which is from their website, a bourbon that matures on the top warehouse floor tends to age faster as heat rises. Bottled at 86 proof, this top floor whiskey is smooth and well-rounded to be enjoyed straight with ice or in your favorite cocktail. Fun facts, the Benchmark brand was actually created by Seagram's in the late 1960s to be a premium level bourbon and was distilled at the old Prentice Distillery, which eventually became the Four Roses Distillery. In 1989, it was purchased by the vampires at Sazerac, who of course owns Buffalo Trace, where Benchmark is now made. The name McAfee is in honor of the brothers James, George, and Robert McAfee, who were the first early American explorers to survey the land at the site where the Buffalo Trace Distillery now stands today, way back in 1773. The tasting notes from Breaking Bourbon are vanilla, caramel, brown sugar, light berries, tobacco leaf, and oak. Who's going up against Ed?
Kinsey Cabernet Cask finished whiskey from the New Liberty Distillery in Philadelphia. Fun fact, Scott and I visited that. Fun fact, we had to take Uber rides because we were too inebriated to go there driving. No. We drank a lot of whiskey that day. I don't even remember if we drank this that day. I don't remember doing it.
I don't know.
I don't think we did. They had enough else for us to drink. So this is their Cabernet Cask finish. What's interesting about this is it's a 10-year whiskey.
Oh, is it?
Yes.
Wow.
100% corn whiskey. Aged in oak barrels and finished in used Napa Cabernet wine barrels and bottled at 43% ABV or 86 proof. Goes for about $40 to $45 a bottle, very reasonable. Rich, bold flavors, layers of sweet grain with, because of the wine, I think, some maraschino cherry, some stone fruits in there, black currants, berries, probably imparted by the Cabernet Cask, sparked by a little burst of peppery spice and lingering subtle rumble of warmth.
Rumble.
That's what they called me, rumbling warmth. Yep.
Another college nickname.
That's right. I had a lot of them.
Yeah.
What's interesting about this is you have an underwhelming brand from a massive company and an overwhelming expression, I think, from an underwhelming company.
Yeah,
like a little bit of an upstart, New Liberties. I put them against anything else Pennsylvania makes.
Yeah, I totally agree. I mean, they're both bourbons. They have identical proof, but everything else is different. The mash bills, one is aged in wine, one isn't. One's a small craft, one's a legacy distillery.
Yeah.
It feels like a matchup between like the old guard macro distiller and the more modern style of craft distilling.
Right.
Gabe has poured them.
Yes.
And he's going to give them to us.
Okay.
Right now.
Okay.
He's passing over the A's.
And B. So exciting to be
B
doing
has-
this again.
B has a darker color.
Yes. Pouring that, I noticed there was a distinctively different color variation in the two of them.
All right, I'm ready to make my decision.
I
Just smelling them.
got a
looking
feeling
at
this
them.
is going to be a slam dunk. This is a no-brainer right here from what I know about you guys.
Did you try them?
No, but I've had one of the finishes before, and I know
Yeah.
it's highly distinctive, and
Yeah.
I don't think I'm going to be doing a tiebreaker in this.
Yeah,
this
I
round.
don't think that we're going to have trouble telling them apart because of the finishing, which has to be the darker one. But you never
Well,
know.
we assume that.
Yeah.
Maybe the top floor makes the finish come darker. We don't know.
We never know. But we actually know.
You're not fooling anybody.
Oh, okay. So the A,
Yeah.
which was the lighter one, it has a very alcoholic nose, even though it's only 86 proof. The first thing I got, even in the neat glass, was ethanol. But on the taste, it's very fruity and sweet.
Yeah, I mean, talk about an everyday drinking whiskey. It's very light. There's enough there to enjoy. If it's a Wednesday and you want to have a dram at 10:30 in the morning, this is a perfect way to take your coffee break to that level that you want to be at.
I do.
As you do.
Yeah,
Like
if
3 or
it's
4 times a week.
If it's the one we think it is, it seems surprising to me. So I'm going to move on to B. Ed is so far ahead of me. He's already drank both of them completely. Oh, wow! The B is different.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean, it tastes like wine. It tastes like a Cabernet.
Anytime I've had that finish, it's distinctive and it's good. It's nothing like you've ever had before.
I mean, it's super complex.
You could taste the mash bill difference too between the two. I think.
Yeah, because it's all corn.
They're very different whiskeys, and I would enjoy both of them. One at 10 o'clock in the morning, evidently.
Yeah, I think I drank them in the right order. If I had drank the B one, then the A would be far inferior. But I drank A and B, and the A, without drinking the B, was really good.
Yeah.
But
I've had Ed's decision in my hand. Now Scott is taking his...
I'm making my choice right now. Folding the official Whiskey
Twice is
Madness
enough.
2024. Should I fold it like 7 times?
No. I have the decision in my hand.
Is it unanimous?
Of course, yes.
And which one did we pick?
You know what you picked.
Picked B.
The Kinsey Cabernet Cask finish.
Yeah,
whiskey.
slam dunk for me. I mean, it was so complex and just strong flavor. I mean,
Yeah,
what a
very
strong flavor.
Strong, complex flavor. The A is quite good.
Yeah.
Quite surprisingly good, but it's just simple.
Now, once again, just for those out there, the A is $19, and the Kinsey you could probably get for around 40,
Right.
42.
Right? So price is
if you want
factor?
2 bottles at the top floor, you can have that.
Yes, you can.
All right.
So we're going to set up for the next matchup in the 80 proof round, the Kings Creek Tennessee Whiskey versus the Basil Hayden Toast.
Till I collapse, I'll be moving too fast. Got my foot up on the gas, full throttle till I crash. I'm back with a vengeance. You gon' see me end this. I will get ready for a fight. I just wanna find out my limits. I'ma put everything in it. I'm in this life to win it, and this is just the beginning. Do you want it bad? Do you want it bad? Do you want it bad? I'll fight till I collapse. I'll fight till I collapse.
All right, we are back, and Gabe has poured the second matchup in the 80 proof bracket. But first, we're going to tell you a little bit about the whiskeys that are going head to head in this one. It is once again the Kings Creek Black Label Tennessee whiskey at the 4th seed going against the number 1 seed Basil Hayden Toast Bourbon. And Ed's going to tell you about the Kings Creek.
Yeah, so I was doing some research on the Kings Creek. I found a version of it from like 8-9 years ago.
Oh.
That was 90 proof.
Interesting.
And of course, now we know that it's 80 proof. So
Why the change?
I don't know. I was able to find it out. It's made by USDP. It's just a large spirits manufacturer. Founded in 1981. They appear to only make like store brands. So I want to point out that's not really a distillery. It sources spirits from other distilleries and creates its own brands and then sells them primary in the Midwest United States. And their facility is based in Princeton, Minnesota. This particular spirit is for Total Wine only. So first thing to note, it is a Tennessee whiskey because it goes through the Lincoln County process. It's kind of a weird thing to find when it's because it's just made for Total Wine. They don't really have a lot out to attract the public, you know.
yeah.
But I do know that it's distilled to a maximum of 160 proof. Then it's reduced to 125 and put in the barrels to age, and then I guess they eventually water it down to 80. The bottle's kind of cool. It's shaped like a hip flask in a way, and the label kind of replicates Jack Daniel's imagery, but not really. Not enough like that dog toy where they can get sued.
Right.
But enough where it catches your eye and like, oh, is that Jack Daniels?
Yeah.
The taste of it, like a lot of the Tennessee whiskeys, there's a banana component, some apple and vanilla, touch of brown sugar. Some people consider it a little raw, but we're going to find out.
All right. So it's going up against the Basil Hayden Toast Bourbon. The category is a Kentucky straight double oaked bourbon. The second barrel is a toasted barrel, hence the name Toast. The mash bill is 63% corn, 27% brown rice, and 10% malted barley. The proof is 80. There's no age statement, but it's at least 4 years. The price is about $50. The distiller is Jim Beam. Fun facts, with the release of Toast back in 2021, the brand dropped the apostrophe S at the end of Hayden and updated all of the labels, and we featured it in November of that same year on episode 47. Yeah. Tasting notes are toffee, butterscotch, sweetbread, almond, cinnamon, hazelnut, and leather.
Okay, my answer's in.
Again, really quick.
Hasn't even had the whiskeys yet.
So what do you think of the matchup, Ed?
I don't think that Kings Creek has a chance.
Yeah.
And that makes it the more interesting because what if it does?
Right.
They're both 80 proof. They're not going to have a proof advantage. There's a chance that the rawness of the Kings Creek might be more attractive to us with our liking of more powerful spirits.
Possibly.
Yeah, but the 4-year thing might factor in as well, right?
I mean, it used to be 7 for regular Basil Hayden.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
This is going another barrel. It might be younger than that. To me, they're cutting corners. Let's see if they cut too many corners. Let's see if they're a circle now. Let's see if Basil Hayden is a circle. And Kings Creek gets a chance to grab up and get a corner.
Hashtag geometry joke. So these are really odd to me. All of the whiskeys in the 80 proof bracket were really odd. I mean, rice in a bourbon, and then the dubious progeny of the Kings Creek, Tennessee whiskey no less, which because of a charcoal filtering can smooth out maybe rougher edges. The only thing that these two have in common is their proof. And we've had the Basil Hayden before, but never the King's Creek. So I honestly have no idea what to expect. We've got A and B from Gabe. We're smelling.
B looks a little darker, but not much. They're pretty close.
Yeah, they are pretty close. While you're nosing, I had to say, I remember tasting the Basil Hayden a couple of years back when I was probably over here. I'm not sure. Never bought
toast?
it.
Yeah.
Yes. And for Basil Hayden, I was slightly underwhelmed.
Yeah?
Yeah.
I believe I was expecting more character, more depth, and it didn't show me that.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking this may not be a slam dunk like you might think it is.
Yeah, I've had it recently. My opinion was improved on what we said on that episode because I also was a little underwhelmed with it. So, like I said, I don't really know what to expect, but I know that A has a lot of banana on the nose. Jesus Christ, it smells like bananas. But then the B has a little bit also.
Yeah.
And that could just be residual from the A, so I don't really know. Going to taste.
Okay.
I mean, these are way more similar than I thought they were going to be.
Oh.
They really are.
Yeah.
One is a little darker, but I don't know what that means. Possibly the toast. The A is maybe a little sweeter. Bananas all over it.
It's really close to me. I got to take another sip of water, but I think the difference is the finish. One is a very smooth finish, and one's a little bumpy.
Yeah, this is not an easy one, is it?
Is it B for you? It has a little bumpy on the finish?
No.
No, it's A? Oh, shit. Well, B tasted a little bit spicier.
A doesn't have as much of a finish is what I'm trying to say.
Okay. I would agree with that.
So is spicier making your decision closer, or you're just not sure where you're leaning?
No, I mean, they're both good.
Yeah.
They're both good.
I am stunned at how hard this is. Stunned.
I really like A. It's got a nice, pleasant, sweet flavor, a tiny bit of spice. I think B has a little bit more of that spice. There's a savory note on the B.
I believe
I lost which one it is. I just went with what was best in my mouth. It was really close. It was way closer than it should have been. And as close as it is, for the price of the King's Creek, you might want to just go to Total Wine and get a bottle of it right now because it's half the price of the Basil Hayden.
Yeah, definitely both are much better than I thought, expected,
They're
or
thin,
remembered.
though. They're thin.
They're both 80 proof.
I have both decisions in. And I will be breaking the first tie of the night. Scott picked B, which was
I think it's the toast.
Basil Hayden toast.
Yeah.
Ed, in a somewhat surprise pick, went with the King's Creek.
I wanted to like the B.
Yeah.
I thought B had a cleaner finish, but then I realized in my mouth, I really liked the flavor profile of A.
I really liked
you were there
it too. Yeah, I
know
really
you
liked
were
it.
there.
B just had a little bit more complexity, savoriness on the finish,
Right.
and that's why I liked it.
So you've never had this King's Creek?
No, the first
There
time
you
I
go.
ever had
That's
it.
the surprise has
First
got
time
you.
I ever had it.
Yeah. So we're going into the tiebreaker. Ed and Gabe will switch places. Overtime.
All right, so I've poured the glasses for Gabe. I will say that I had a suspicion of what they were, and I was trying to will myself to like the one that's better on paper. And I really wanted to stick true to the adage. And at that moment, the one that I was enjoying more was the one I chose, which was A, and that was the cheap-ass King's Creek.
That's all you can do.
So I'm going to pass over the A,
That's what makes Tasting Blind interesting.
and then here comes the B.
A lot of banana and honey on A on the nose. And quite similar on B with the slight diminished nosing. Same nose, banana, basic
The
smell.
nose.
The nose is remarkably similar between these two.
More than I would have expected.
Exactly.
The nosing is not really distinguishing either one for
Nope.
me.
Yeah.
Didn't for me either. They're both very sweet. Little traces of banana and other sweet fruits, I thought. Gabe has sipped A.
It's nice. It's got spiciness to it.
He's got his eyes closed. He's really concentrating.
He just sipped B.
Wow. They're very, very... Ooh, wait. B just came something late in the tasting.
Okay.
A little bit of a zing at the finish.
Zing.
Interesting.
Interesting.
They're both very similar.
Yep, they're similar. So glad we grabbed it because we were fighting about getting it with ourselves. Like, do we get this one? It's a store brand Total Wine.
I know. Can it be good? Can it
Are
possibly?
we just trying to save money? What's our real motivation?
Yeah, once again, haven't had that toast a couple years back. I was underwhelmed, but they're both pretty good. You said this is one of the spirit selects.
Yep.
And those can be
You brought one last year,
hit or
Gabe,
miss,
if you
but
remember.
some of them are pretty decent.
Right, the first call you brought
Last year.
Another
and
Total
we saw
Wine.
that they have upticks of that now, Gabe. Some of their first calls are like barrel strength, and I think they had a BIB of that maybe.
Maybe we might have tasted it.
Maybe.
Because it was a bottle
Yeah,
of
this guy
bourbon.
just kept walking around making us drink whiskey.
we hate. We hated it.
Yeah, one good thing about Total Wine is there's always guys there to, hey,
Yeah.
They've definitely upped their game.
Yeah.
I mean, also, if you live in the area and you haven't been into the Cherry Hill Total Wine, they refurbished the entire thing. They
Yes.
moved to a new location, just catty corner from where they
Yeah.
were, and it is gorgeous in there.
It's the same
beautiful
parking
store.
lot. It's literally 100 feet from the old
Yeah,
store.
it's like they moved from one part of the L to the other.
Yeah. All right. So what are you thinking there?
Yeah. Have you decided?
I'm getting there.
Gabriel?
One more little quick sip. I'm
Sure.
making it up.
I like to drink the whole thing until I make my decision. I think you might have noticed.
That's you.
I know he takes it to the head. He takes the other one to the head, and then he's done, and then he makes his decision on a memory.
Yep. 2 sips. But
Yeah, if you wait too long, and then you kind of
I always start
perseverate. and
overthinking myself.
yeah.
Then that's when you have to pour me more because I forgot what they taste like.
I'm going to go with B.
B.
B just has a little bit more of a something at the end. It's got a little more mature tasting.
And B was.
The 4th seed is going on Kings Creek.
Oh.
Kings Creek upsets Basil Hayden Toast. A 4 upsetting a 1.
Wow.
It's already starting. It's getting fun already.
Welcome
not-
to the tournament, Gonzaga.
It's not Whiskey Madness until there's a 4-over-1 upset.
Oh my God, Iona over Duke.
And also, me not picking the right one.
Exactly. Well,
The winner, that
yeah.
is.
So Kings Creek's going through. Upset of the day for sure. Will
Yeah.
there be another? We'll find out.
But coming up right now, the 110 plus proof, the Maker's Mark Small Batch Select Bourbon versus Barrel Amburana. Ooh. Stay tuned.
I'll take a shot, I'll overpower any boss, cause I am not
Let's
someone
go.
that you would wanna cross.
I move quietly, like a shadow, there's a dark side to me. I work privately to go build and create my own dynasty. Me versus you, I hope that you know what you're getting into. I got nothing to lose, so you better watch out, can't predict my moves. I'll make you irrelevant, I don't stop till I'm at the top settling. I live here like a local resident, and you know I ain't selling it.
I won't stop, I'm here to get what I want. I'm not lost, I'm here to make it to the top. I'll take a shot, I'll overpower any boss, cause I am not someone that you would wanna cross.
Okay, we are back with the 110 plus proof bracket. The first matchup between Maker's Mark Small Batch Select Bourbon and the Barrel Amburana finish. And
Scott's going to tell us about the barrel.
I'm going to tell you about the Barrel. That's correct, Ed.
Nice interjection.
Ed was paying attention in the meeting earlier. All right, so the 3rd seed, the Barrel Amburana Bourbon. The category is a finished blended bourbon. The mash bill is 75% corn, 21% rye, 4% malted barley. The proof is 116.42, the highest in the tournament. The age is 5 to 10 years. The price is between $80 and $90. Blender bottler is Barrel Craft Spirits of Louisville, Kentucky. The source distillers are undisclosed distilleries in Kentucky and Indiana, finished in the Brazilian Amburana wood. Fun facts, we tasted this on episode 69. With other Amburana finished expressions with the Whiskey Chicks. And Amburana trees grow mostly in Brazil, and the wood has a waxy interlocked grain that, when toasted, provides a mother load of baking spices. I showed you, Gabe, my wood earlier.
It was lovely.
Lovely, thank you.
Yes.
Spiraled. Yeah.
And your mother load was equally impressive.
The tasting notes are cinnamon, pumpkin pie, licorice, chai, ginger beer, cider, apples, and dark rum. Wow. And it is going up against the Maker's Mark Small Batch Select, and Ed's going to tell you about that.
Right, so Maker's Mark was really, they get credit for being the first premium brand whiskey after Prohibition. I think they started around the early 50s, like 53, and pretty much are known for their distinctive wax top.
Yeah.
And that stays pretty consistent throughout all of their things, and they even do that with cigars now. What we're looking here is a private selection, and what makes it interesting is it's similar to their 46 line. They put in wood staves to make each one distinctive, and there's something that they call a stave profile. And in the one that we're using, it was 109.9 proof, as we said, which just kept it out of the bracket, but we put it anyway. Because we're like, I think I was a teacher for 27 years, and if someone got an 89.9, I would have found a way to be a 90.
Oh, that's nice.
It's a
I
roundup.
feel like teaching summer school.
It's a roundup. Yeah, I never taught summer school. I'm going to the shore, bro. But listen, the stave profile, 1 was a baked American pure, 4 were seared French cuvée.
Cuvée.
Seared French cuvée.
Cuvée.
Seared French cuvée. One is from the Maker's Mark 46 barrels.
Oh.
2 are roasted French,
Mendient?
and 2 are from toasted French spice.
Spicée.
Yeah.
Don't confuse
Right.
them.
Toasted French spicée. This was bottled in September of 23, and most of the private selections go for around 80. This was in that ballpark, as I remember.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more because it was a fundraiser.
Yeah.
So some of the tasting notes you could find, you're going to get a lot of wood, a lot of seasoned oak, and from that you're going to get some spice out of the wood, and you're going to get some vanilla, and you're going to get a little bit of a burnt, some of the charring, and it should be pretty interesting. Like it should be like Maker's 46 on steroids. That's what I'm hoping for.
Yeah.
We like Maker's Mark. I mean, we thought for a long time that they had been passed by a lot of the craft distilleries, but then they got back in the game with the 46. They got back in with the cask strength. They got back in with their stave profile private selections. So I think just like Jack Daniels, Maker's Mark has finally got off their asses, no offense to them, and realized that they just can't stay pat on their reputation because the younger generation doesn't appreciate the nostalgia of the first premium brand of whiskey ever. Okay.
Yeah. So before our first 80 proof matchup between the Benchmark and the Kinsey, I said it felt like the old guard versus the more modern style.
Yeah.
I think this matchup is also that, but even at a higher level. We have the venerable Maker's Mark with a classic wheated bourbon mash bill, and the other, the crazy blenders at Barrell, who just do insane sounding things with whiskey, consistently end up tasting amazing. But who will win our palates today? Sometimes pretentious finishing techniques or 70 years of straightforward bourbon distilling tradition.
Right.
And Gabe has poured them for us.
Right. I did.
And he'll be passing them to us any minute now.
Could you do your fucking job, you bastard? Random belligerents. Gabe's not much of a Sherpa anymore. Edition.
That's why Gabe's, we see him every 6 months now because he's become harder to deal with.
Well, to piggyback on what you guys were saying about both bottles, I mean, I know Maker's Mark, they stood pat for quite a while, but I know the different stave things has drawn in a lot of fans to what they're doing.
Yeah. It's a really new and interesting way to finish whiskey.
All right, we've talked about Seth from Infused Spirits Broken Barrel.
Yeah, they do the same thing.
Yeah, and if you listened last week to the episode, you will also remember that it was my play-in tasting that put the Barrel Amburana
That's right.
into
Right.
the bracket.
It's the only reason it's here.
And this one is going to be a tough matchup. I really believe so.
Right, so I'm looking to pick against it despite Gabe, but we'll see what happens.
Because as Ed does, Ed full of spite.
I think you're probably going to know which one's the Amburana just because of that cinnamon note
Right.
that you get
was
on it.
Very distinctive.
But what's interesting about the A is it also has a little bit of it on it.
Yeah.
So I think we might get confused
Right.
after a bit of tasting and smelling.
I mean, I'm a fan of Maker's Mark, but I'm not familiar with the bottle that's in front of you guys. So
Yeah. And again, we're not trying to figure out which one is which. We're just trying to figure out which one we like.
right.
And we don't care which one. Although maybe Ed does because Gabe picked the Amburana.
No, I just want the one I like best.
Yeah.
All right. So you nose, you taste. What are you getting?
I mean, the B to me has a lot of cinnamon on it,
Yeah.
as I said.
He's got some oak, some traditional vanilla.
Yeah, a little cherry.
Ed's dropping a little bit of water in
It's strong enough where I think it might
A.
benefit. It might open up some more flavor for me.
and B.
Yeah. Both bourbons, both finished. The Amburana is the Brazil wood, and Ed went through all the staves that the Maker's Mark did.
Yeah, smoothly.
Well, see, that's funny if it actually is smoothly, if I edited it that way. But if I didn't, then it's also funny.
Exactly.
Ed's always a big fan of trying different wood.
Yep. Smooth wood was my college name. Easy wood with Gabe's.
Easy wood. Mine was spicy wood. Okay, now I'm confused tasting it. Because I'm getting a lot of cinnamon on both, a lot of baking spices on both.
Very good. They're both very good. I need a little bit of water to follow it. But
Remember I said we might get confused? I'm confused.
Would you guys like me to sing a song while you're deciding?
No. Are we taking too long for your tastes? Is that what's happening?
you took forever, I'm going to point out. If you go back and listen to last week's and how long it took Gabe, even with Scott's editing.
Maybe a couple of verses of Inagata Vida. First 7-8 minutes.
In a gala Vida, honey, don't you know that I'm loving you? In a gala
These are both delicious. I mean, these are both excellent whiskeys, right? Don't you think?
It's already the best Maker's Mark I ever had. I don't know which one it is yet, but
I absolutely agree with you. This is delicious Maker Mark.
one is more complex. But I'm trying to decide whether it's better complex or just complex.
All right, we have climbed the ladder. So this is 110. We were tasting in the 80 proofs before. So I'm going to drop a little bit of water in these. Ooh, like a lot of cherry notes.
I'm getting like a spicy apple cider on the B.
This is
On
quite
B.
a battle here from this one.
It really is.
You guys are really torn, I can tell. Ed's got pen in hand.
I like them both so much.
Me too. It was the hardest decision of the day by far.
For bourbons, these have a lot of spice.
Oh my God, my tongue is burning peppery right now.
Man, I have no idea. I'm just going to pick one because to me they taste very similar.
Close your eyes, take another taste.
No.
Yeah, you want me to hand them to you? Do that
Oh,
thing?
you would do the thing that I normally
Yeah,
do?
I'll do
Okay.
it. Yeah,
all right. Yeah, because I cannot decide.
All right, here we go.
All right, my eyes are closed. Hand it to me in whatever order you want.
Okay, here you go.
Okay, this is the first one.
Yeah.
Could be A or B.
Right.
Eyes are still closed.
We've secretly given Scott a drink of Sanka,
Take a sip of water.
dehydrated crystals. Ed just handed Scott a little
This
bottle
is it.
of
This is the second one.
Drano.
Trying not to listen to
I just
Gabe.
heard what you said. I wasn't paying attention either.
We should be seeing the effects very shortly.
All right, I'm going to say the second one. So what was the second one? A? Okay.
And we have our decision.
Gabe, is it unanimous decision?
No! It is a split decision.
Damn it. So I picked A,
Pick A.
which was, I'm going to guess it was the Amburana.
It was the Maker's Mark.
Fuck! See? Damn.
B was the Barrel Amburana.
Okay.
And guess who's doing a tiebreaker?
Here you go, Gabe. I know. I'm like, Ed, what are you doing? Oh, okay. Assuming the position behind Gabe.
Overtime.
All right, so I've poured the two whiskeys into Gabe's A glass and B glass. Only I know which is which. And I'm going to pass them over to Gabriel.
All right.
Here comes A, and here comes B.
Man, this one really confused me. I really thought I was picking the Amburana because of the cinnamon.
Now, you guys didn't really mention much on the color of these two, but it is very similar.
They're very similar.
Slightly darker on the A, but might just because Ed poured a little less in the B class.
They're pretty close. Excuse me.
How dare you, sir?
Nose on A is good, nice and full, very aged. Ooh, a lot of cinnamon on B. Nosing on A, I'm getting a lot of caramel corn, something, some Johnson's down in Ocean City on the boardwalk.
Ooh, yeah.
On B, I'm getting a nose of sugar corn pops from Kellogg's, which I know they don't call it that anymore because, can't advertise sugar in your cereals. That's just wrong. Kids don't.
They just call corn pops now? Is that what it?
Yeah, something like that.
I think Maker's Mark was called sugar corn bourbon originally.
I'm going to go for a drink.
It's so good.
A lot of baking cinnamon with a little hint undertone of some nice gum.
Yes.
Spearmint, perhaps.
Yeah,
Okay,
there's
like you had
mintiness.
that in your mouth before you drank.
Yeah.
I know
It's
what
a
you mean.
subtle mint.
Yep.
Yeah. B glass has a lot more, so it's a spicy sweetness. Now, again, I did taste the round to put it in there, but now I'm having a hard time
I
distinguishing.
know. It's
Yeah.
confusing.
Yeah.
It really is. You're where I was. Do you want me to sing the first 8 minutes of Inagata Davida for you?
Right.
Hello, me. It's me again.
Hello, me. It's me again.
The water on B really opened up a lot more. Really distinctive now.
Oh, okay.
I have to go with B. It's just got more of a depth, more flavor, more profile.
Okay. And V was?
Technically, another upset. The barrel's going forward.
Wow.
Was that the 4?
Third.
Seed.
Yeah.
It knocks off the second seed of the Maker's Mark. A very good bottle.
Wow.
And it's a little melancholy for me. I was hoping that would go through a round.
Yeah, me too.
But
Me too.
it was a great bottle and it was for a great cause. And once again, I think it was one of the best Maker's Mark that I ever drank in my
Absolutely.
life. The barrel is going to move forward. And now we will do the last matchup of the evening, the Old Carter Rye, batch 11, against those upstarts from Maryland, Sagamore Spirit Rye. But because it's a Benash barrel pick, anything can happen.
That's right.
Out of the darkness, out of the fear. Here comes the monster waiting in there. Heart rate is rising, some call it scared. You'll feel the chill start raising your head. We're all alone, you're on your own. It's you and me who's going home. Look up, 'cause I'm right here. Welcome to a real life nightmare.
All right, we are back with the final matchup of today. The 110 proof plus bracket, the number 1 seed, Old Carter.
Ooh, yeah.
Rye Batch 11 versus another rye, the Sagamore Spirit Barrel Select. And I'm going to tell you about that whiskey. It is a blended rye whiskey. The mash bill is 95% high rye whiskey and a 51% low rye whiskey. The proof is 110. The age is 7 years. The price is about $70. The blender bottler is Sagamore Spirit of Baltimore, Maryland. The source distiller is, of course, MGP of Lawrenceburg, Indiana. They are still sourcing. Not everything, but a lot. The owner is Ilva Serrano of Serrano, Italy, who bought them back in September. They, of course, own Di Serrano Amaretto liqueur. Yeah. Fun facts, they have the year 1909 stamped on the top of each of their glass bottles to signify that their whiskeys are proofed with pure limestone filtered water from their spring house, which was built in the year 1909. And second, we have never tasted any of their products on air before today. Tasting notes are hints of caramel and vanilla with cinnamon and clove, but of course no two barrels will taste the same. Ed, who's it going up against?
So this would be the Old Carter Rye Batch 11. 1,612 bottles were included in this batch. The proof is 115.6. Mash bill's 95% rye, 5% malted barley. It's a blend of 7 different barrels. The age is not given, but the lowest one used is at least 7 years. The distiller is not disclosed, but it's from Indiana, so is it MGP? Price is around $200, and it was. This particular batch was only released in California, Delaware, Georgia, Kentucky, Louisiana, Maryland, our own New Jersey, New York, Tennessee, and Washington, D.C. It's made by the Old Carter Whiskey Company, the brainchild of Mark and Sherry Carter. Fun fact, they were involved with Kentucky Owl and the branding of that. And the horse that appears on the label comes from a wood carving from Sherry.
Oh.
And the reason that a horse is on the label is it's supposed to symbolize all their stuff is powerful from cask strength.
Oh.
The tasting notes of this, on the nose, very fruit forward. The palate would be explosive, they say. With cinnamon, sugar rimmed cream soda, white chocolate dipped cherries. Don't get mad, Scott. Because white chocolate's not chocolate. And then the finish is long, rolling ride with a touch of wood and the slightest bit of mushroomy funk. So that means Scott should love it.
Wow.
Yeah, so we did the quick taste of this with Marty and Rachel, right?
Yeah.
Back in December, and we all really loved it. What's crazy about this is we have 2 different blends of MGP ryes from 2 different companies. One we know is a blend of 7 different barrels. The other one we don't know what they did with it, but 2 similar proofs, 2 carefully curated batches from 2 newish companies known for their blending. Like the last one, that was hard. I think this is going to be even harder.
It's whatever's best in our mouth, right? So they're both going to be good.
Well, we know they're good.
Well, because it's a Benash pick. So we've never had a bad Benash pick.
I know.
And I can't believe that's going to happen now. This is the A coming towards us?
Yeah.
Okay. The nose is interesting.
Oh, it's
Jesus.
like bubble gum or something.
Man, this looks darker. The
B
second
glasses
one
are
looks
distinctively
way darker.
Yes.
B is way darker and smells more like a rye than the A one.
Personally, I'm hoping for a tiebreaker here because I never tried either of these, and they both sound very exciting. The Old Carter description.
Well, unless we tie, you shan't. They go right back to the vault.
I will have some whether you like it or not.
Fine.
Well, I don't want you to do it because you never pick with me, bitch.
It's nothing personal.
Isn't it?
No, yes.
No, yes. I mean, they both have pleasant noses, but B definitely has more of a rye character. Gabe's still drinking the Amburana from last round.
I blended the 2. It's very nice.
Oh, yeah, I did that too. It's really good.
They're different on the flavor.
Oh, and the flavor. Ed's like in a Nirvana over here.
Oh, my God.
He's hitting Utopia right now.
Because I just drank the best thing I had today.
Wow. Jesus Christ.
That was just the A.
Should I get you guys a towel?
Good.
My God, after I drank the B, the A came back like with a rebirth. Like, no, I'm the best thing you drank, bitch. I feel like I'm being hit on by both of them.
Oh my God. The B has such a punch. Oh, wow.
That's what I drank when I made my initial Nirvana
Yeah.
sound.
Wow, that B is awesome. That's awesome.
And the A is so good.
Yeah.
It will be safe to say I think we've come to the heavyweight battle of the night.
Yeah. Yeah. And I think these are high enough that we can put some water
They're
in.
both dropping some water in there, which does incredible things with a couple drops. It really opens up a lot of things.
Oh, man. So the B tastes, as it smelled, more like a rye. And the A has a really nice sweetness. When you drink B and A is
They go together so
awesome.
good.
Yeah.
Ed's in with his selection.
They're both high-level whiskeys, but one is just a step above the other one.
Yeah. I agree with you. One is a step above the other one.
just-
but
it's-
which one is
It's
which?
the finish, though. It's a complete sip. So I'd sip it, like palate, finish, all connected. Like one of the most connected whiskeys I ever drank. It's like-
Would you go so far as to say it's one step beyond?
One step beyond.
Drop that in there. Don't let us do that. Definitely drop them in, not us.
I will.
Okay, we
Because that
have-
was awful.
Terrible. We all came in at 3 different parts.
Yeah. All right. Go ahead, Gabe.
We have the decision. Unanimous decision.
Had to be.
And we chose B.
It had to be B. You
both chose B.
because B was just superior.
And B was.
Old Carter.
Yes, it was. Holy crap! The Old Carter distinguished itself.
Holy
I
damn.
took a sip of the A and I was like, "This is really good." And then the B came in and it was just like, "Oh,
Right.
Oh my God! This is what a $200 whiskey's supposed to taste like."
Yeah.
Holy crap!
Absolutely.
Would I pay $200 again for the Old Carter? Yes, I would, because it was the best 5 whiskeys I ever put in my goddamn mouth.
Yeah, and the Sagamore is no slouch.
No,
If
no,
this went
no.
up against anybody else, it would probably win because
The Sagamore is
delicious.
The Sagamore, like
Like $80.
Yeah, like-
well, what did I say it was? Hold on, let's go back there.
Gabe, you skip A and just pour yourself a little beer right there. Yeah. Holy shit! He poured himself a $40 glass right there.
A little more full than I thought I wanted to.
He's like, I'm getting my paycheck for today right now.
I wasn't trying to overdo it.
I'm just kidding, man. It's fine. It's like got like an ounce there. I'm just
The price is around 70 for those.
right. So you're talking about you get almost 3 of the Sagamores as we paid for the Old Carter, and that would be a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
Unofficially doing a tiebreaker for myself. With the Old Carter, the nose was not overly impressive, but the taste.
Yes.
Yeah.
A lot of orange zest, a lot of happy little heat.
Yeah. That is absolutely true. It's,
Yeah,
the
it's
nose is not very expressive, but the taste punches you in the face.
And it's happily lingering in my palate and in my throat. You can see where the price comes into the factor.
Oh my God, it's
Good
so
stuff.
freaking
Very
good,
good.
man.
Yeah, so I mean, this has been a great beginning to the tournament. So what we have coming up in round 3 is the Kings Creek Black Label Tennessee Sour Mash Whiskey going up against the Kinsey Cabernet Cask. They were the winners today in the 80 bracket. And in the 110 and plus bracket, we're going to have Old Carter going up against the Barrell Amburana finish. That's going to be epic.
Yes.
That game's going to sell out.
And then next time, we're going to do round 2. We're going to do the brackets of the 90 and the 100 proof.
Yeah.
Gabe, final thoughts about round 1.
Very exciting. Good time. A lot of new bottles haven't been tasted. Of course, you do new bottles every time here, but same brands but different bottling. I'm telling you, the Amburana could go on.
Good.
The surprise to me was the Kings Creek.
Yeah.
I didn't give it any chance. I mean, any chance.
That was surprising.
That was an upset Basil Hayden. I honestly think that they have a really tough matchup with the Kinsey Cabernet. It's
Yeah.
such a strong
Yeah.
flavor.
Yeah, that was my other
Yeah.
second tiebreaker, and I was
Yeah.
pleasantly surprised
Yeah.
for not having ever heard of it.
Absolutely.
And then when we get to it, Barrell and Old Carter, I mean, it's going to be hard for Barrell, though, because Barrell's got a tremendous flavor, but Old Carter is just a perfect whiskey. And I feel like you only made 1,600 bottles of that. Like, you could have made 60,000 bottles, and then we all would have been happy, you know? So I think this was a great opening round of the tournament. Each bracket had an upset, and one of the top seeds is gone. And so, like, I know people's brackets at home are just ruined right now.
Yeah, they're ripping up their papers.
Right, some people had Basil going to the final pour, you know?
Vegas is up in arms right now.
Right. Scott, any last thoughts?
I agree. This was great. It's always great when you have upsets and also things that are legitimately good going forward on their own merits. Again, we're just tasting these blind. We have no loyalty to any of these brands.
No one pays us anything.
No.
Believe me. Believe me.
But the Old Carter, we haven't gotten to the 90 or the 100 proof brackets, but honestly, the Old Carter stands up head and shoulders above anything else we tasted tonight.
Yeah. It was a favorite coming into the tournament, and I don't think it's anything to diminish the hype.
Nope.
All right, so thanks for tuning in. Be sure you tune in next week for round 2, and after that, it really gets interesting. So for the Whiskey Tangent Podcast, I'm Ed.
And I'm Scott.
I am Gabe.
And I want to thank Siobhan for being here, taking photos, and bringing us water to keep us hydrated.
Yes, thanks, Siobhan.
Cheers, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Later.
Take that, make them take it all back. Don't tell me you believe that. Are you just gonna take that? Or will you fucking fight back? Yeah. You ain't gonna make it, you ain't never ever gonna break it. You can never beat them and they're better than you face it. Thinking that they give a damn, you're not thinking straight, kid. No, they don't give a damn, you got what I'm saying? I'm not fucking playing, I'll give it to you straight, man. There's too many others and you're not that great, man. Stop what you're saying, stop what you're making. Everybody here knows that you just fake it.